the morning off with the wildfires burning in Southern California. Right now, more than 2 million people are under an extremely critical fire warning as the Santa Ana winds are set to pick back up into today. But the winds haven't been as fierce as forecasted and could remain lighter than feared, according to the National Weather Service. Good morning. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Jordan Chavez. Good morning, everybody. Even though the winds were not that strong, officials say the fire danger is not over and red flag warnings are still in place. CAL FIRE now ranks the Eaton blaze as the most destructive in Southern California history, and the Palisades fire as the second. New analysis of images from satellites and a wildfire camera suggests the Palisades fire might have ignited near the burn scar from a fire earlier this month. As for the Eaton's fire origin, newly released video of flames near an electrical tower on January 7th might be a clue. Experts say a perfect storm of wind and dryness caused the fires to spread rapidly. They say no fire department in the world could have done better with those conditions. But newly surfaced video shows firefighters warned city leaders of understaffing just last month.
Now turning to the weather here in Colorado, an Arctic blast with sub-zero temps are heading our way.
Let's get check that forecast now with senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. And yes, we got those sub-zero temperatures on the way. Bundle up, to say the least, for this weekend. Until then, though, that's going to feel pretty nice for the next couple of days. 21 right now. We will be lucky to hit 21 degrees on either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday of this upcoming weekend and early next week. So, again, our low temperature this morning will not even be our high temperature for 3 consecutive days over this weekend and early next week. Teens, 20s right now, Eastern Plains. Look at these sub-zero readings for us. Gunnison, which is a notorious cold spot in the mountains. You got the Elks, the San Juan surrounding it. So all that cold air from up top there, it sinks down into the Gunnison River Basin. Kremling, similar geography as well there in Middle Park. So that's why you're at minus 13. Leadville, 10,000 feet, well below zero right now as well. We're in the upper 40s today, though. Lots of sunshine. And here in Denver, basking it, right? You got a dog walk planned, or you don't. If you don't have a dog walk planned, make that dog walk plan, or just get outside today, because you will not want to be outside this weekend. Upper 40s for today, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures a couple degrees above average for us in the Denver area. For a little bit of context, average high for today is 45 degrees. We have not had an above average high temperature in Denver since, get this, January the 3rd, almost 2 full weeks. So it's been a while since we've been on the warmer side of average, but we get that extreme Arctic cold Saturday through Tuesday morning, snow for us Friday night through Saturday, and also on Monday morning, and then weekend wind chills as low as minus 30. We're going to get into details on all that coming up for you in just a couple minutes. But first, I want to send things over to Brianna for a look at traffic.
Chris, thank you so much. A live look right now of I-225 right near Colfax. For those heading northbound this morning, heading up to I-70, it is going to be a mess because of a crash. You can see those flashing lights right now. Crews have been on scene for the last 15 minutes, and you can see those backups, those brake lights right behind it. So I do want to switch things over to our main maps because we are tracking a lot of trouble spots. The first one that I want to track right now, I-70 eastbound for those heading into Brighton Boulevard. That left lane is partially blocked. Not far from that crash, we also have the southbound I-25 right near 70th Avenue. That ramp left shoulder is blocked, and where I just showed you that CDOT camera, you can see those backups that we're seeing right near Alameda, Colfax. If you're heading up to I-70, this is right near 17th Place. You definitely want to avoid that area. And if you are taking I-225 heading into I-25, it should be a pretty good commute, but as soon as you approach I-25, it is going to be a mess, and that's because most people are heading out the door right now. So right now you're looking at a 15-minute drive. Speed times are clocking in at 44 miles per hour.
All right, thank you, Brianna. Now that 2024 has wrapped up, we are taking a look at the newest crime numbers from the Denver Police Department.
This comes on the heels of a violent string of stabbings on the 16th Street Mall over the weekend. Our Lauren Scafidi is live in studio breaking down all the numbers for us. And Lauren, last hour you explained what the city is seeing in terms of violent crime. So what trends do you notice when it comes to property crime?
Yeah, well, property crime is things like stealing cars, stealing from cars, arson, burglary, etc. It's going down, but the big thing is that there seems to be some hot spots. But let's take a look at the bigger picture first. Okay, so overall, property crime, again, going down about 34,500 in 2020. A huge jump in 2021, 8,000 more property crimes during a time when, remember, people were largely at home. That was the height of the pandemic. Last year, property crime dropped to the lowest it's been in the last few years, just more than 33,000 property crimes across Denver. The only property crime that has ticked up significantly is larceny. Now, we can break down all of this data by area. So these numbers here that you see are for Auraria. 81 total property crimes in 2020. Okay, so then it more than doubled to 192 in 2024. That's a big jump, worth considering all of the protests there on campus this year. In Central Park, we're seeing property crimes pretty much all across the board going up the last 5 years as well. The biggest jump, larceny, that's highlighted right here in yellow. Take a look at these numbers. So it almost doubled from 2020 to 2024. Now, not downtown Denver, but at DIA, these numbers are worth talking about. Looking at everything highlighted here, if we can pull up those DIA numbers, we're seeing some pretty significant changes here for DIA. So at DIA, everything highlighted. So stealing from cars has more than tripled the last 5 years. Larceny has almost tripled. Auto theft has more than doubled. Union Station near 16th Street Mall overall sees property crime going down since 2020. Since 2020, more theft from cars, more cars stolen, but fewer burglaries. So I talked to the Downtown Denver Partnership to see how they're working to keep people safe all over downtown. They say the dedicated mall unit is coming back after they were sent to other parts of town during 16th Street construction. DDP surveys people to get a general sense of what's going on, and they're constantly evaluating their services, but incidents like this weekend still happen.
We know with the particular incidents over this weekend, the devastating nature of this type of a tragedy is that though the suspect is in custody, though we have no reason to believe that there are vulnerabilities left in the community, that we all feel that. So we need to continue to remain vigilant. We need to continue to ensure that there are services available.
So we showed you some hot spots, but overall crime is down. With the stabbing spree this weekend, there needs to be accountability. Coming up in the next hour, the city's action plan for accountability. Live in the studio, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Now we're learning even more details about the man accused of killing 2 people on the 16th Street Mall. More than 3 years ago, probation officers and judges in Adams County recognized the dangers posed by him. Elijah Cottle was arrested after an August 2021 confrontation with a maintenance manager at a Westminster shopping center. The man caught Cottle using a trash enclosure for a bathroom and told him to leave the property. According to court documents, Cottle responded by threatening him with a knife. After a plea deal, Cottle got probation, but he failed to report for meetings with his parole officer and failed to finish a counseling program. That led a probation officer to write that he exhibited antisocial behavior and a judge to conclude he posed a danger to others. Murder and other charges are still pending against Cottle in the 16th Street Mall stabbings over the weekend.
The Biden administration plans to lift the designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism as part of a deal to free political prisoners being held on the island. The Associated Press is reporting that it's part of a deal facilitated by the Catholic Church following the announcement that Cuba has freed more than 500 political prisoners the U.S. considered unjustly detained. The U.S. is also expected to ease some economic pressure on Cuba as a result. The determination is likely to be reversed once the new administration takes office.
The Biden administration has finalized a rule that bans the sale and import of Chinese and Russian software and hardware in connected passenger vehicles. The Commerce Department says the systems from those foreign adversaries pose unacceptably high national security risks. The features include components that connect vehicles to the outside world, including Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, as well as self-driving systems. The software bans will start with the 2027 model year cars, and for hardware, it begins with 2030 model year cars.
President Joe Biden designated 2 national monuments in California this week. He signed proclamations designating the Chuckwalla National Monument in the southern part of the state and the Satilla Highlands National Monument in the north. The proclamations will protect more than 800,000 acres of land. The move bars oil and gas drilling, mining, and other industrial activity on those lands. The White House said that Biden has now protected more public lands than any other president in a single term, except for President Jimmy Carter.